Hello, Curios. Welcome to the Curio Storyteller, where old books from our childhood and teenage years meet a little character clause play, meets a little we're treating the characters in the book like our friends and telling them what we think. Speaking of books from our childhood yesteryear, what we're currently getting ourselves into is a book called Dream Date by Sinclair Smith. And what this book is about here, let me just throw Oreo Jr. back there. And let me give you a quick little recap of where we're at because it's a lot going on. Got our main character, our bestie, Katie. Katie's new in town, Katie's 17, and life has not quite went the way she thought it should in her teenage years, meaning she didn't get a boyfriend yet. So she's in this new town and she's like, oh my God, I'm tired of being lonely. Please send me a man, God, moon, somebody send me a man. And she gets that man. And that man is Heath, a psychopath, lunatic, loser that is controlling. He crazy, he deranged, he needs a therapist, maybe, a sentencing in prison, who knows. And he's kind of stalking her because in her real life, not when she's dreaming, in her real life, Katie is actually getting friends and she got her a real boyfriend named Jason, who if she don't want him, I'll take him, that kind of thing is going on. And things are escalating because Heath is getting a little jealous of Katie's real awake relationships. So let's see where we are. Scott, did I leave anything out? Did you want to add?
Not.
Okay, guys, here we go. Oh, and also I want to start this one off with a question as well. Pose a little question to you guys. Have you guys ever wondered whether like everything that you do is real life or a hallucination? Like how do you know the people you're talking to are real? How do you know other people can see the people you're talking to? How do you know you're not crazy? So, we're going to explore that question as we explore Katie's experience with this lunatic Heath.
Right.
Let's go. Katie flew or ran from the restroom and flew to her locker. Raquel hadn't returned with the janitor yet. The mess from the broken thermos was still lying on the hall floor. Grabbing her coat, Katie ran from the building and didn't stop running until she reached her house. Little flames leapt out of the keyhole when she opened the front door. Heath is back, she said to herself. There was no way she could delay sleep for more than a few minutes, however. It took a huge effort not to fall asleep on the steps. She forced herself to keep moving until she reached her room. She was barely able to hang up her clothes and change into her nightgown before she fell on the pillows and into sleep. Oh my God. Oh God, y'all. Oh, because every time she falls asleep, here come this idiot. But here we go. Heath was waiting for her. Well, gee, I was beginning to think we weren't pals anymore. His smile was smug, and his eyes gleamed with that snake-like quality Katie had seen before. You know, the things that I was waving the red flags about. Come around more often. Don't make yourself a stranger. He shook his head as if to say, shame on you. Sometimes it scares me how perceptive I am, he said. How can I be such a clever guy? Pause. Katie Blue, I love you is not a perceptive smart guy, sir. Like, sir, we read your poem. Okay, I wouldn't call that smart, sir. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, back to the story because I had to drag Heath a little bit. Anyway, I knew you'd try to pull something like staying awake sooner or later. That's not very smart. Neither is your poem, sir. A girl needs her beauty sleep. As Katie watched him, she was suddenly aware that the feeling of exhaustion had left her entirely. Great, she thought. All day long, I've stumbled around in a daze, and the only time I feel wide awake is when I'm asleep. Heath tossed his hair off his forehead. It was a gesture that Katie would have found irresistible not too long ago. She turned away from him. Was it possible he was as good looking as before? She really couldn't tell. She found everything about him so unappalling. Why are you tormenting me? Katie turned back to him. If you hate me so much, why don't you go and haunt someone else? Heath opened his mouth to say something, but apparently thought the better of it. He was silent for a few moments before he spoke. I'm not going to give you another warning. The more you try to with these games with me, the worse it's going to get. Heath was pacing back and forth now, moving like a caged panther. As for staying awake to try and get rid of me, forget it. It's too bad you didn't read up on your subject a little bit. In this case, the subject is dreams. He tapped his finger to he taps his head with his finger. Girl, it rang hollow probably, but whatever. I've always loved to read. hmm That's why I've always got the edge. He pointed his finger at her. Katie, let me tell you what I read about dreams. Nobody can do without them. If you stay awake so you don't dream, do you know what happens? You just make up for it by dreaming more than you ever would have when you finally go to sleep. Heath looked pleased with himself. He slouched back against the tree and cocked his head to one side. Since you haven't had any sleep for the past couple of days, you're going to be doing a whole lot of dreaming. Katie's heart sank in her knees. Was he telling the truth? Girl, yes. Anyway, sorry. Katie getting on my nerves. Katie getting on my nerves. Sorry, y'all. If he was, then the torture she put herself through had been all for nothing. Didn't we tell her that? Didn't we say that like last live? Didn't we say, girl, don't do it, go to sleep? Didn't we say all that?
Did say that.
Oh, girl. Oh, if only somebody had said something. Oh, we're going to be spending quite a bit of time together. Girl, that should scare the hell out of you. Chapter 27. Katie stirred, gazing at the Saturday morning sunlight filtering through the curtains on her bedroom window. She threw her arm across her face, shielding her eyes. Ooh, girl, ooh. I'm awake. For a few blissful moments, Katie relished a kind of temporary amnesia in which there were no bad dreams and no terrifying visions. She was just a girl enjoying a sudden social success with new friends, a wardrobe of new clothes, a variety of interests which held the promise of a bright future, and the prospect of a date this evening with a wonderful guy. Yes, his name is Jason. Hey, Jason. Hey, Jason. Too quickly, the recollection of recent events came rushing to her. Oh, girl. But at least I don't feel tired. Katie was thankful for that. Hours of sleep had given her a renewed sense of well-being. Isn't that why we sleep so we can wake up feeling refreshed, ma'am? Isn't that why we told you take your butt to bed? Okay, Katie girl. She heard the clock on her bedside table ticking relentlessly on. 11 o'clock. Katie gave the timepiece a dirty look. Girl, it didn't do nothing to you. as she pulled herself out of bed. Why hadn't someone been banging on the door to wake me? She wondered. As she creeped downstairs, she tried to gear up for the watchful, questioning glances that her parents had greeted her with lately because they think she on drugs. She told them that she was simply swamped with homework, making a big push with her studies because she just entered a new school. She hoped that explained her unusual hours, early departures, and late nights. She thought they bought it, but perhaps not entirely. But no one with suspicious eyes greeted her. Okay, girl, where they at? The house was quiet. Girl, did he do something to him? In the kitchen, she found a note tacked on the refrigerator door with a candy cane magnet. She read it quickly. Of course, Katie smiled to herself. She had forgotten that her parents were leaving for their vacation. They had to depart unusually early. That's why they hadn't awakened her. She sighed with relief and got a bowl of cereal. What to do today? Turn myself in at the local funny farm? But I don't think I'm crazy. They never do. I mean, do you think who think crazy people think they crazy? I don't think they do. So she got a good point there. Katie hated to think of herself as being like those people she's seen in movies about the insane, obsessive people, the ones who were sure they had been sent on a special mission, the only ones able to save the world, people who saw things and heard voices. Stephen King novels were full of them. The lights on, but no one's home. Got a screw loose. The elevator doesn't go all the way up. She remembered something Heath had said last night. It's too bad you didn't read up on your subject. In this case, the subject is dreams. So I'll read up on the subject. Okay, girl, but wait, you didn't answer the question of whether you crazy or not, if you got a screw loose or not. She told herself it was worth a try. Maybe there was an explanation for these strange events after all. In truth, Katie didn't feel much hope of finding a plausible explanation for what had been happening to her, but she was clutching at straws and held on fiercely to this one. In less than an hour, she was sitting at a table in the local library. In front of her were stacked every book on sleep and dreaming she had been able to carry over from the shelves. Got a nostalgia moment, y'all. Remember the days before the internet when the only way you could find information was like to either call the information or to go to a library? Oh my gosh. We have it so easy nowadays. You just pick up the phone and just Google some stuff and figure it out. But before, honey, you had to have Encyclopedia Britannica. You had to go to the library, honey, or you had to call somebody who knew something or call information, 411. Remember that, Scott? Y'all remember out there? Anyway, back to the book. She began to read. It soon became apparent that Heath knew what he was talking about, all right. People needed to dream, she read, and if deprived of dreaming for a period of time, there followed a phase where they dream more than usual to make up. What Heath said about that was true. Girl, a broken clock can be right twice a day, okay? Katie sighed. I needn't have put myself through the past few days. We kind of pointed that to you, but sir, ma'am, you weren't listening now. There seemed to be no way to withhold dreams from Heath. If she managed to go without them for a day or so, there would simply be more later. It was another hour before Katie discovered anything more comforting. Sleepwalking doesn't occur during dreaming. When you are dreaming, you can't move your arms or legs. This is true unless you got a condition where your body doesn't shut down as you sleep. That means I won't wake up and find out that I've unalived my whole family in a crazed dream like he suggested. It was just like him to think up a cruel lie like that, Katie thought in disgust. Hmm. Fear is a tool, darling. Fear is always a tool, baby. But it wasn't until Katie had read quite a bit more that she came upon something that brought tears to her eyes. She reached a chapter on sleep deprivation experiments. Sleep deprivation had been conducted as part of brainwashing on prisoners of war. The POWs became confused and hysterical, willing to confess to crimes they never committed. Then she read about other controlled experiments in sleep deprivation. The subjects became angry and suspicious. Girl, you must be talking about MK Ultra. Do y'all know what that is? If you don't, look it up. Scott, have you ever heard of MK Ultra?
Yeah.
The CIA was being naughty, naughty. Look it up if you got some time or if you're curious. Yes, that fits, she thought, remembering how she wondered if Raquel was jealous, which girl was ridiculous. But the thing that started her crying, that made her read the passage over and over again, was the one that told her about hallucinations. Subjects not only acted strangely, they saw things like cobwebs on their hands. Remember the other? Yeah, girl. And crawling bugs. Again, girl, if only someone had told you. Okay. That's the end of the chapter, y'all.
No.
Y'all know how we end these things. If you could talk to one of the characters, mostly, I guess this time it was just Heath, the loser, and Katie, what would you tell either one of them? You guys put in the comment section. Scott?
No. I don't know if I have anything to say to them at this time.
Okay. That's fine. That's fair. I would talk to Katie and tell her fear is a tool. People will use fear to manipulate your behaviors to get you to do what they want you to do, either get you to come to them, to leave them alone, whatever. They'll use fear to manipulate. So be careful when people tell you things that are in the future or that they can do. Girl, trust but verify. Girl, boy, whoever. Y'all trust but verify. So that's what I would tell Katie. Girl, trust but verify when these people tell you so, because they will use fear to rule you. Period. Okay. Y'all, you know what? I'm gonna stop. Wait, y'all want to know one that we've had since we were little kids that's gonna make y'all laugh?
What's that?
How they put fear in you? Santa Claus. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. So you better be good, for goodness sake. It's to scare you and control your behavior so you don't act bad. Anyway, so we're going to end it there. As always, you guys, we hope that you guys had a great time hanging with us because, of course, we always appreciate spending time with you guys. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Check out some other lives, some shorts, some videos, all that fun stuff. Make yourself at home on this channel. It's for the weirdos, the curios, a place for us to hang out and kind of share ideas, share stories. So from wherever we are, even in a library, an old school library, getting our nostalgia on, looking up stuff, not using Google or technology, to wherever you guys are, peace, love, and happiness. And we'll see you guys next week, Friday, for more of us just kind of being curios and weirdos. So we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.